M little c, capital G, I-N-L-E-Y. I play Dr. Perry Cox, who is the teaching resident here with all these little jackasses. I went and auditioned, and then I auditioned again and again and again, and finally made it to network, which means you're with 5 or 6 other guys, or girls, however it works, and you're all in the same waiting room, and you go in and audition in a tiny little executive office. And in this case, there were about 30 or 40 people there, all the different people from NBC, and it's worse. It's the worst possible of all worlds. It's all pressure, it's all everything. I like to be in waiting rooms with people as they're auditioning because their terror calms me. And so the 4 guys who went in before me came out, they looked like a deer in headlight. They just, you know, they're just like, oh my God, it's the most terrifying room ever. I was like, I'm getting this gig. And so I went in and I did what in my mind, I rehearsed in front of a video camera at home. I set up a space down in the basement to just rehearse in front of. And I did what I'd rehearsed, and I just felt like I crushed it. Right before you go in, you sign 5 copies of the contract that you and your agent and your lawyer are hammering out with these people over the last couple of days. And I turned Scrubs down. When we were hammering out this contract, I turned it down 3 times. And it was right in the middle of going through a divorce. And so I was turning down, what I was turning down was still an astronomical amount of money. And it was the worst 3 nights of my life. The first meeting I had with Bill Lawrence, the audition, I told him, I don't know whether it was a sense of hubris or entitlement, but I said I thought that Cox was too similar to the head of the hospital. I thought they were way too similar, and I thought that Cox had to teach with a teaspoon of dirt, a teaspoon of dirt, and a pinch of sugar. And so, and God save me, Billy assimilated that into the character. I thought Cox was archetypally cut from the same cloth as Ed Asner's character in Mary Tyler Moore, Louis De Palma in Taxi, you know, kind of the hard ass with a heart of gold. And the heart of gold, I thought, just had to come out once every blue moon. Otherwise, he was just a prick, and who cares? I didn't want to play a prick for 7 years. It's no fun. And so Billy started to layer in kind of this window into, you know, kind of a love groove every once in a while. And it's what separates him. I did this horrible Tom Green movie, and I shaved my head for it. And so the first season of Scrubs, you know, I'm pretty short-haired. And so I guess I shaved my head right after we shot the pilot, fully thinking the pilot wouldn't be picked up, and there was going to be an actor strike, so it didn't really matter anyway. And everybody was trying to cram in as many films as possible before the strike to get kind of a war chest of cash to be able to hold yourself through, hold yourself over. And so I show up at Scrubs. I guess I have hair in the pilot, and then I'm you know, coming back from a bulb, being bald.
You know, my father is a doctor, and John's character is based on my father, because my husband used to talk to my dad, and my dad used to tell him, you know, about what it was like when he was a resident, and also my husband talked to a nurse that used to work with my dad, and she used to say, oh, when your father used to come into the operating room, we used to just be so frightened. And so then Bill had the idea for that.
The first time I met all the actors at Billy Lawrence's house for the read-through was, you know, the first read-throughs were ridiculously exciting. It seemed, I thought they were all so different, and there were so many different voices in the room that it really excited me. I mean, Zach's character was so young and fresh, and Sarah was, you know, just wide-eyed little Canadian kid, and Donald was this kind of precocious brother, and Judy's beautiful, beautiful Latin woman, and Kenny's, you know, he started he was one of the founding members of Louisville Rep, and, you know, he just carried that weight with him. Guy who's done the whole canon, all Shakespeare's plays, and I thought the casting was so meticulous and interesting. I didn't know any of them. There's no reason I would. They'd all, you know, they'd done nothing. Kenny, I guess I probably saw at some point or another, didn't even know it. And Donald I'd seen ever so briefly in the Titans. But that's it. And I was at that read through and I was laughing my ass off as I heard these voices come to life and I saw the different people, and I was stunned. I was like, wow, this has a chance.